What up, what it do, guys? Welcome back to Spaz the Riches. I am your boy Spaz, and today we're going to be finishing the Dale Jr. Greatest story ever told. Please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We just got to jump right on into the video.
And probably about 5 years ago, I was sitting in the lounge for the driver's meeting for the Daytona 500. Either Daytona, maybe it was a Busch race. I don't know exactly what it was. But I'm sitting in, I got there a little early. Nobody really filtered in yet. Carl Edwards is sitting there with his dad. And I sit down next to Carl. Carl waves me over. He's like, hey, come here. He's like, you know my dad? And I was like, no, I don't think so, man. How you doing? He goes, nah, you know him. He says y'all and him hung out. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, in the back of a pickup truck in the parking lot of a strip club in Topeka, Kansas. I was like, that was you? Carl Edwards' dad.
Yeah.
Back in 1991.
Yo, my bad if I look
What a
bad,
small
yo.
world.
Hold on. My bad if I look bad, yo. One, I just woke up. Two, I've been sick for the past, it feel like forever. I think it's been only a week, though. I don't even know how. I don't even really get sick. I mean, I ain't mean to, stop the video for that. But I was just letting you guys know, what's been going on, why I haven't posted and stuff like that. I have been through it. Oh, okay, we're going to get into the video now. We're going to go ahead.
Yeah, right. No doubt. So you're back there.
That to me is the best part of the whole trip.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I always thought you made it into the club.
No.
Was there another club?
Nope.
Well, you're leaving out part.
What?
We finally negotiated with the bouncer.
Oh!
Yeah.
How you leave out the
that's
fact that you
true.
negotiated with the bouncer to
How
get
could
in the
you
club?
forget?
There's a new best part
right.
to the story.
Well, this is the better part.
This is the best part. So, yeah. Well, yeah.
I wouldn't have forgot that
Talking
part.
more, right? Pitch
I wouldn't have forgot that we negotiated with the bouncer to get in the club.
black, but they come out, right? Well, who comes out with them? All the girls that are in the club. Yeah. I mean, how many?
Oh, dang.
There had to be
Well,
4 or
no,
5.
Yeah, I remember it a little bit
Hey.
different, but
Y'all got to be popping to come out with all the strippers in the strip club.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my mind today, as I'm remembering it,
All the strippers ever were out there
in
in
my
the
mind
parking lot.
today, as I'm remembering it,
Y'all like my hair?
but in about 2 minutes,
recolored it.
they're like, hey, you couldn't get in there, so we brought the party out here.
It's red and blue now.
It's getting.
Well, only two red
Strippers,
ones.
there's strippers standing on the hoods of the cars around.
Mine guns.
There's guys carrying AKs around. And there's firing them in the air.
We don't do that stuff anymore. No, we don't do that stuff anymore.
So they're all just dancing on the roofs of the cars are all around. It wasn't really like that, but that's how I imagine it in my
I
mind.
imagine it was. Right. Wow.
So the party, the strip club basically just emptied out into the parking lot for I don't know how long.
We didn't want you not to be included.
Wasn't that nice? Wasn't that nice of them?
That's a good friend. That's a good
But how
friend.
you get all the strippers to come out, though? Like I said, bro, you got to be popping to get the strip club to go from the inside to the outside. I don't care who you are. You got to be really popping. They was really popping. Oh my God, you can't do stuff like that now. Ain't no strippers gonna come out and dance outside for you. It ain't safe no more for stuff like that anyway. So, hey,
I thought, that they were sitting in there just having a great time going, he's fine.
Right.
They were working
the whole time.
Worried
The whole time.
What's it going to take to get them off this stage and out there to the parking lot?
for
So
real.
Sunday morning rolls around. I haven't really had a hangover this entire trip until Sunday morning.
Well, you would have had to quit drinking to get a hangover.
So I did. We quit drinking. Why did we quit drinking? Because Dad was there. Dad had flew in to run the race.
And is this back at Topeka?
We're in Topeka.
Okay.
Sunday morning, race day.
It's hot.
Mr. Rick's there.
Rick Hender's there.
Topeka.
I'm feeling pretty rough, and I'm trying to avoid Dad. I'm at the RV.
I gave you strict instructions to don't talk to him.
Yes.
Don't breathe on him.
Right. Dad is roaming around, right? And I went over to the pit road and sat down in Schrader's pit stall, and they're gluing lug nuts. And I'm just sitting there hanging out, talking to the guys a little bit as they're gluing lug nuts for the race. And I seen Daddy's boots coming across the floor in I got my head down, and under the bill of my cap, I can see Daddy walking up.
Oh, dang.
And he looked down at me and he goes, "Hey!" And I looked up at him, and he just turned around and walked off. I didn't have to say anything. And I didn't see him the rest of the day.
Well, his day was short.
Yeah, until after the race. He started in the back because he missed qualifying.
He wasn't there to qualify.
Right. So he starts in the back. You qualified. You're running up front. He drives all the way to second place. And he gets to second and then missed turn one and backed the car into a barrier. Great little race car. Mark Reno built it. I remember we got on the plane and went home. I don't remember having a conversation with him about it. I don't remember. I think it was, I knew I was caught. I knew he was mad, and he didn't want to talk to me, and I didn't damn sure want to, open my mouth
Caught mad.
and start anything,
How you get caught? You said he didn't say anything to you. You had a hangover. You got away with it. That's how that works. Like, I don't know. Well, your parents always got a way of knowing that you did something wrong.
So
it's just silent treatment?
It's
the whole
silent.
But then again, you did let me go on the road with you, buddy. So it's your fault.
They go to Pocono.
Did he say a word to you?
No. No, he
Say
didn't.
anything to you in Topeka?
No.
I know that you're aware that a lot of people, follow your career and love the fact that you're still out there racing, but there's so many fans that still appreciate you.
I just couldn't make it because I'm not retired like everybody else. I'm still I'm salaried, man. It's hard to get away.
So you're going to run how many races this year?
I'll get in 65, 70, and then we'll do 45 of those play days for Federate where we take cars out to the track.
45 play days.
Yeah, last year we did 60.
Jeez.
It's going to be down to about 45 this year.
Well, man, I knew you was going to be on this show at some point, and when we figured out we had you booked, I wrote some small notes. And I try not to really, the big elephant in the room is that on the day my dad was killed, that you were a part of that accident. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say something about it. We can't do this podcast. We can't have this conversation and ignore it, right? So I wrote something and I wanted to read it to you.
His dad is dead? Why this whole time I thought, wait, is this Dale Earnhardt Jr.? I thought his dad was still alive. I don't follow racing, but with the old clips that I watched, now I know they're old, I thought he was still alive. He said killed. Wow.
If I could.
Don't mess me up here.
I'm not going to mess you up. You don't have to say a word, all right? But I just I've known you a long time, and a lot of time has passed since that happened, and you've been a great friend to me. You're one of only a few to see the darkest moment for my dad. That you have intimate knowledge of those moments. You are a keeper of that delicate information. It makes me feel close to you, Kenny. I feel pain for you to have to carry that memory, but you carry it for me. You carry it for Kelly, Dad's family. You carry it for anyone who's ever cheered for him. It's a secret that you'll keep to your last breath. Kenny, I know you might sometimes wish you weren't the one, but I'm glad it was you. And I really appreciate you for who you are and the friend you've been to me. Just that little gesture to give me the nod on Kenny Jones. There was a couple drivers in the last couple of decades that gave me some great advice, really, really good advice in particular times. And just to do that small thing, you knew it was a big thing to put Kenny with me. You knew how good a person Kenny was. You knew how important he was in your life and how important he would become in mine. He means the world to me and Amy. And I just appreciate it.
Well, I love you guys, but the best advice I ever gave you, you didn't listen to. Don't look at your dad and don't breathe on him. You screwed that up.
I swear I didn't breathe on him. I didn't say a word to him. He just knew.
Well, that'll do it for that podcast. But like I said earlier, I mean, I really don't watch podcasts and stuff like that. Like, I don't sit through them. And the day that I made this podcast, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. The day that I first started, I really didn't feel that good. That's another reason why I cut it off. I put it all on the podcast that day. But the real talk was, I was getting sick. I felt bad, and I just wanted to get off. But I also wanted to put out a video because it was in the middle of the week, guys. It was a day that the video was supposed to come out. But sometimes you gotta miss some of those days, which I have. And, you know, it was still cool. But when talking about this whole thing, I feel like people should just be more bold. You know, I feel like, dang on, whenever you're a kid, you should just be more bold when it comes to your parents. Like, I mean, the worst that can happen when they catch you drinking and stuff is what? Like, I'm old enough now, so I could say this. I don't think I never like really hid anything from my people. Like, I ain't feel the need to, cause like to me it was always like, you know, what's actually the worst that could happen? I mean, yeah, you could get a whooping, you could get put on punishment, you could get yelled at, but at the end of the day, after it's done, it's done. It's like, I was one of those unnecessary risk type takers whenever it came to it. I was bold. Like, I didn't hide report cards or nothing like that. If I got an F or D or whatever, it's whatever. I'ma show it. It's gonna be out there. I mean, I couldn't hide that even if I wanted to. My sister, she come right on in and give her report card up to my people. So, I mean, they knew whenever they was out. But I never thought to hide them things anyway. I didn't forward signatures because I didn't think I needed to. The only thing I used to do was I knew that if I got suspended from school, I would literally have to clean up like the time I was home. Like from the time that I was supposed to be and this was in the beginning, from the time that I was supposed to be at school to the time that school get out, I would have to clean. That was my mom's rule. And when my stepdad came, it was like a completely different one. I was constantly on punishment, so it was just like from, you know what, I should have tried more stuff because I was constantly on punishment. Now that I think about it, it was like I would have had to clean. Like I probably would have had to do some outrageous stuff. Like I would probably had to clean walls and like boot camp cleaning, but other than that, it wouldn't have been much of a difference. But this is what I did though. I was rambling a little bit. This is what I did. So instead of getting suspended, I used to talk myself out of suspensions when it came to like out of school suspensions, and talk myself into more of a in school suspension type deal, or a not technically after school because they didn't really do after school detentions. I had that like one time. But if I could, I'd talk myself into like a ISS type deal. Or I would just talk them out of calling my people whenever it came to me getting suspended. I never got OSS like that. I got it like maybe twice, to be honest. But I did do a lot of stuff in school that got me in trouble. I skipped. I did all of that. But I just did the bare minimum to where they didn't have to call your parents. They just gave you the slip and told you had ISS. Or made you just sit in ISS. So that's mostly what I did. But when it came to drinking and stuff like that, I didn't care if my parents caught me. I didn't care to do it in front of them or not, because it was just like the worst that could happen is I get a whooping or I get put on punishment. Or, you know, well, punishment didn't start happening until my stepdad came around. It was mostly like whoopings, cause you know, black people they whoop their kids. It's lovely. It's a gorgeous thing. You learn right from wrong a lot quicker, and you don't have to sit in the room and just stare at the walls. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I never really cared much about that. And then it's like after a while, if you keep doing it, if you was me, the way I looked at it was after a while, if you keep doing it, eventually they're just gonna be like, you know what? fine. Do what you do, just don't do this. Just don't do it in front of these people, or just don't do this. And you come to a compromise where you live your life, and it's a lot better. But me and my people never had problems whenever it came to stuff like that. But I just felt like kids should be more bold when it comes to that type of sense. Don't be bold as in getting in trouble in school on purpose just for them to call your parents so you could be like, oh, eventually they're gonna give up. No, eventually something else is gonna happen to where you ain't gonna like that. So we're gonna do that. Sitting in a room or sitting in the house from the time you're supposed to be in school to the time you're supposed to get off of school, just cleaning, that is so boring. That is so freaking boring. That is a whole nother level of boring. And you can't do nothing else. It's not like you can listen to music while you're doing this. No, you can't do nothing. You're doing all of this in silence. By the way, I have a black mother who didn't like getting woken up. So that being said, you have to try to do everything in silence because you don't want to wake this woman up. Literally. Evil. I don't know if white people have this problem, but black people have this problem where if you wake them up too early, we get very aggressive. We get very mean. It was just, and then it's like black women, you really don't want to do that too, because they are just, oh my God, off the wall. But I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to deal with that. You know how hard it is to wash dishes and try to be quiet about it? Water is the loudest thing in the world when you're trying to be quiet. Like, that is the loudest thing in the world. Every creak, every crack, even opening up a door, changing trash bags, all of that is the loudest thing in the world whenever you're not supposed to make a sound. And until next time, my friends, hope you enjoyed the video.
You like how I talk, You like how I walk, You like a soldier, nigga, a boss. You know what I'm on, How you cap, bitch, you weak. Bitch, you lame on that lame old shit. For yourself, get killed. I take the gun off your hip. Dish you that shit like a feel. Don't do young hoes.